Hey, hockey fans, it's Randip Janda from Hockey Night in Canada, Punjabi, and we are ready for the 11th season of Hockey Night in Canada, Punjabi on Omni Television. It's been quite the wild ride, and we're ready to keep it going here in year 11. Of the 11 years we've been on Omni Television, I am shocked actually that we have never had our guest today on the show before, host of 32 Thoughts, Hockey Night in Canada, and my mom's favorite hockey broadcaster, Elliotte Friedman. Elliotte, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Randip. There's a reason this show has gone for 11 years, and that's because I've never been on it. So if it doesn't go for 11 more, we'll know that I'm the problem.
No, not at all. It's an honor to have you on. So Kevin BX has been on this show. I taught him some Punjabi. Ron McLean's been on it.
Uh,
So we
I got to
finally
be a better guest than BXA.
uh,
All I can say is I better be a better guest than BXA.
okay, we're gonna have to start teaching you some Punjabi right now in that case. So we'll work on that, Elliot. It's awesome to have you on. I know this is a busy time of the year for you, but let's get straight into it. I saw your predictions today. Sportsnet, all the insiders came in with their predictions for 24-25. You have the Edmonton Oilers beating the New York Rangers in the Cup final. Please explain yourself and how you came to that conclusion.
I mean, Edmonton, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. They came within one win of winning it last year, and I still think they're pretty good, and I think they will add to their roster during the season. So that's why I am a big Oiler fan. Uh, for the Rangers, I just think that they're a really good team, and I think that this is their last year in their current group. They're going to make changes after this year because they're going to try to sign Shesterkin, even though they're having some problems with it now. They're going to try to sign him, and I like their team. I like their offense. I love the goalie. I just love the team. Now, chances are I'll be wrong because I'm usually wrong, but I love the Rangers and I like the Oilers.
Okay, so there's two schools of thought here. Sometimes, you go with the logical picks, which is Edmonton is a great pick. The Rangers, I had them going deep last year. I've shifted gears a little bit this year. Or it's the go big or go home mentality, which is what I'm going to be leading with a little bit. I got the Canucks and the New Jersey Devils, and it's not because
You
that
are a
logo behind me.
total homer. You are a total
Uh,
homer.
I
Come on,
usually don't. I
Randy.
usually don't.
You can fool your regular viewers because they love you, but you cannot fool me. That is a total. Well, look, it's a total homer pick, but first of all, the Devils are a really trendy pick this year. There's no question about that. They did a lot of great things in the offseason, and they go out and they win twice in Prague, so everybody feels really good about them. I don't think the Canucks is a terrible pick. Even if it is a homer pick from you, I don't think it's a terrible pick at all. I think the Canucks are really good. Now, we'll see what happens with Demko here, but in terms of depth and talent, I think they're one of the most talented teams in the league, and particularly up front, I think they're one of the deepest teams in the league. To me, Randy, the Canucks window is opening. It is opening now. They are growing, and they will only get better. But so I don't think it's a bad pick, even though you're trying to say it's not a homer pick. We both know that's a lie.
I happen to be located in Vancouver, if you're trying to allude to that. Yes, I do.
Well,
Uh,
like you said, you can see the nameplate. Like you even got a spot in the locker room.
I did for one brief moment, but this is the only year I've made that pick. I usually go in different directions, so I have to be.
Don't waffle. Don't
I made the pick.
justify. You put your
I
stick
made
in
the
the
pick.
ground and you just stick with it.
I made
Yes.
the pick. I made the pick.
Yeah.
You mentioned Thatcher Demko there. That is a situation we're watching very closely here in Vancouver. Sportsnet 650, all the shows are talking about it 24/7. Uh, what's the latest? And I guess the question, the way that the Canucks want to deal with this, what are you hearing in terms of just the process that they'll be undertaking and maybe the timeline and the road to Thatcher hopefully coming back?
I think that they are looking at it like we don't need him right now. We don't need him right now, and we have to get him comfortable. I think, like I remember early in my career, Randy, I kind of said, I don't know if a guy is really that hurt. And Glenn Healy, who's one of my broadcast mentors, he grabbed me and said, you do not have the right to question a player's injury. And one of the things he explained to me was that people are different. and that may not be a huge revelation to most people listening to this, but I think everybody listening, they know about themselves. Are you a person who can quote unquote play hurt, or are you a person that needs to feel right, 100% right, or close to 100% right, because you really believe that you will not be effective if you are not there? And so everybody is different. I think that what Demko and the Canucks learned about um, themselves last year is that if he rushes back, it doesn't work for him. So they're not going to rush him back. Number two, he's dealing with kind of a new injury here, as we've all learned a new muscle name in the last month,
Popliteus, I
and
believe. Yeah.
popliteus, and he's getting used to playing with it. I think that's actually been one of the issues, Randip, is that it's a new, different kind of injury, and he has to just get comfortable with it. So I think they're going to take their time. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if we don't see him into November. Now, I'm not reporting that that's what's going to happen, but it wouldn't surprise me if that was the outcome.
And that is certainly backed up by the acquisition of Kevin Lankinen as well. You've got a ready-made NHL goaltender coming into the organization now. That does imply that maybe it's going to be a little bit longer, but we'll see. It's as I mentioned, something that is discussed all the time. So more recent news, as of today, Igor Shesterkin, according to Kevin Weeks, a contract offer was rejected. 8 years, 88 million. There's been a lot of discussion, and you've mentioned how this contract could reset the market, probably will reset the market
Yeah, it will.
based on Shesterkin and what he believes he deserves, and with the cap going up. How much are we talking here? Because there was the days of the Bobrovsky deals and the Carey Price deals. What kind of number could we be looking at here?
I have no reason to doubt Kevin, and I have no desire to doubt Kevin. I was under the impression that we were looking at in the Panarin range, and Panarin is 11.7, or just under 11.7. I think it's 11.67. So I heard that that was kind of what he was looking at, and I still think, assuming this is true, and again, I've got no reason to doubt Kevin, that kind of lines up with what I heard. So I think that I believe the Rangers were prepared to make him the highest paid goalie in the NHL, and this offer would make him the highest paid goalie in the NHL. I think the challenge here, Randy, is they've basically built their team around him, and if you lose him, you're not only going to lose one of the best goalies in the league, but you're also going to have to change the way your team is built. So there's a lot here on the line with Shesterkin and the Rangers.
Absolutely. And it's one of those things where you start watching the salary cap kind of climbing up. Hopefully over the next couple of years, we might be coming back to these kind of contracts. Part of the reason the salary cap could be going up is player star value, right? We're seeing the economy become better, but also players like Austin Matthews, Connor McDavid are taking that next step in society as well. We're a little bit more recognizable to the casual fan. Big part of that could be shows like Amazon's Face Off. And I watched a couple episodes last night the first time, and I'm not going to lie, I loved it. I thought it was
I do
very
too.
yeah, very much like the Drive to Survive aspect of it, very raw, in your face, as the game of hockey is. Is this something that is really, we've had the all or nothings, but those were a little bit more team controlled. Is this a new day when it comes to player personalities as a result of this show and the way that we're heading in the hockey world?
I think it is, Randip, and one of the reasons is that there was a memo that went out last year from the commissioner to all the teams when some teams decided not to wear microphones after they'd already agreed to. And he said, I don't think people understand that the future of the league is dependent on this. And I think one of the things that really happened here is the players said they would buy in. And when Connor McDavid agrees to let some of the things filmed that were filmed, them losing game 7, his outburst after game 2, nobody else can say no. If the best player in the game, the guy that's won the Hart Trophy 3 times, is saying, okay, I'll let them film me like this, well, then people on the level of me and you are not going to be saying no to that. So that to me is a big deal. And I heard there's more players who are willing to do it. I think that we're going to have this happen again. I know Amazon is really happy. I know the league is really happy. I think there are people that aren't comfortable with the fact that all of this stuff gets released uh, without them getting a veto or anything like that. However, we're just at the day, Randy, where this has got to happen. Like, I look at your reaction here. You're loving it. I think most people are like you. And we're at a point in time where that's what people want. You know, people want the quick clips on social media. People want those 1 or 2 minute bursts into who they like. And as a result, that's why we're going to see more of this stuff.
Yeah, they want honest reactions, which is we see that on the ice. Elliotte, when we're sitting in the press box, we hear that too. You know, if you've ever
Yes.
heard Drew Doughty play, he's letting the whole arena know what he thinks. But we just in the broadcasting side of it, it's tough to show that. But here with this documentary, it's done a great job, and I gotta give you an honorable mention too. I think your voice is heard more than anybody in that. You've got a lot of reports coming through on it.
I know. You know what? I should have asked for a royalty.
Gonna
You
say.
know, I have to say this too. I wouldn't be surprised, Randip, if the day comes, like your show. Like I like, you know, obviously I don't speak Punjabi, but I know the popularity of your show. How much do you think it would sell, or how much interest do you think there would be if there was a behind the scenes of your show? You know, for example, your production. Like, I know Sportsnet's thought about it for us, that they've thought about. Now, I think we'd all get fired,
Same here.
uh, but you know what? I could see the day coming where people say to us, "We're doing a behind the scenes show of Hockey Night in Canada."
It might be even more entertaining than the actual show. Let's be honest. I
I,
think it would
I,
be.
I think it could be, and also I think it would change the way it's broadcast, because once you put that stuff out there, well, then you can't say, why can we do it there, but we can't do it here, right?
I love it. I love it. All right, I'm going to take that to our bosses.
I want to see unfiltered, unhinged Randeep. That's
All
what
right.
I want.
It's also just on a Friday night in Vancouver. Come on down sometime. You can see that after dinner. Before I let you go, so this is your silly season. It started a long time ago, but you generally take a little bit of time off when you can. What's the final
Yes.
act of the off season for you? Like the final, hey, I'm before it gets crazy, I want to do this one thing.
You know what? That's a great question. We always take one vacation in the summer, and this year we went to Disneyland in California.
Very
We
nice.
went there a few years ago, and unfortunately, we had to cut our trip short. So we always wanted to go back, and we did. But the other thing we did this summer was, you know, we're a big music family. My son loves music. I have no talent for music, but my son does. I always joke with my wife that his real dad must have been a good musician. And my wife loves music too. And this year was our 15th wedding anniversary. So what I did, it's on September 3rd. What I did was I got us a concert at Red Rocks. We went to go see Arcade Fire at Red Rocks. And that was the last thing of the summer. And it was a great experience, particularly for my wife and son. So that it's a great question. And that was the last thing that we did.
Well, that's fantastic. Happy belated
What about you?
anniversary.
What did you do?
I laid low. I usually am very Ron McLean-esque. Ron and I love F1, so I go to F1 race every off season. But this season I did not, so I took it easy. Hung out in Mexico with the family for about a
Nice.
week, and just took it easy. So laying low. It's about to get real. The Canucks, broadcast here in Vancouver, but obviously with Hockey Night in Canada, Punjabi too. So ready to go. Late August, I get a little antsy. I'm not going to lie, Elliotte.
I'm with you. I understand that, and I know, Randip, it's cup or bust for you. You've got
I put
you're planning the parade.
once it's in graphic form, it's permanent, right? So that's
Right
going
down
out.
Granville.
Uh,
Right down Granville, the
Also for
parade.
our Hockey Night Punjabi show, straight down Scott Road, which is in
Scott
Surrey.
Road. Okay.
I got to take
Okay.
you there one
Yes.
day, Elliot, when you're in Vancouver next. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Elliot. Appreciate you taking the time, jumping on Hockey Night in Canada Punjabi. It's been an honor chatting, and we got to get you in studio next time you're in Vancouver too.
I will come. Have a great season, Randip. Great year for you and the crew.
Thank you very much. And if you like that, please hit us with a like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you next time.